few days ago I came across this Kevin Samuels video. Now me personally, I've never watched Kevin Samuels. I know he helps many women and young men better their lives and get on the path of self-improvement and change their lives all over. So I mean, rest in peace to him. I know he did a great job from, the comments that I see people leave or the way I see people talk about him. But me personally, I had never watched his video before. Now the title of this video was every 25-year-old needs to watch this video. So I was like, you know what? Let me give it a shot. Let's see what he has to say. So I clicked on the video. The video was a live consultation call with a 25-year-old guy, just telling him, hey, like I graduated college a few years ago. I'm currently unemployed. I'm 25 years old. I still live with my mom. Nothing's really going for me. I want to, change my life. And then Kevin goes on, he went on this long rant about how the worst thing that this guy was doing was still living with his mom. He kind of just honed in on that point. He was like, yo, you have to move out as soon as possible, even if it means working a minimum wage job at Burger King or at McDonald's, get 2 of those jobs and just work. But the first thing you have to do is move out. Now this video made me think about this whole idea of moving out of your parents' house after you graduate college or when you reach a certain age. Something that many people think about after they graduate college, and considering it's July, many of you watching this have probably just graduated. Me, myself, I graduated a year ago to this day almost. No, actually a year and a month ago. During that time, I've been working a 9-to-5 job. I've been living with my parents, and I've also been working a second job. So I feel like I'm relatively qualified to talk about this topic, considering I've lived it, and I've also seen the other side of things. I have coworkers who moved out, whether it was for the job or even though they were nearby where their parents' house is, they just decided to get their own place and live with some roommates. Now, my opinion on this whole idea of moving out. To be brutally honest with you guys, I don't think moving out of your parents' house is a good idea. Now, in America, there's this whole culture around living with your parents after you reach 20 years old or after college. You're a loser, you're lame, you're not going to be anybody, you're leeching off your parents. But I want you guys to think about something. Now, I come from an ethnic background. I was not born in America. This mentality of you need to move out or your parents need to kick you out when you reach a certain age literally only exists in America. If you go south of the border, if you go to Mexico, I guarantee you the majority of what you will see is 22, 23-year-olds, people who are still starting their adult life, still living with their parents as they build up a foundation, a stable foundation for them to move out and start their life. Because let's be honest, the economy is not in a good place right now and life is very difficult, especially for someone who has recently graduated college. Now in America, I believe this exists because it's a very consumer-based culture. They want an 18-year-old to get kicked out by his parents. The 18-year-old now has bills to pay. He has to get a job as fast as possible, work a shitty minimum wage job, stay stuck in student debt because now he has to pay all his bills and pay rent, so he's struggling to pay back the student debt. And then once that guy, they tell you this is how you build up your character, this is how you get stronger. The reality is they want parents to do this, so then once those kids grow older, they think that, damn, my parents kicked me out of the house when I was 18. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send their ass to the retirement home. Send the parents to the retirement home. Now the parents are struggling, they might be working a job too. I literally see 70-year-olds working as crossing guards. America is based on consumerism, and whatever is going to lead to more consumerism, the culture will encourage. Now, living with your parents as a 22-year-old, I want to tell you guys this, because maybe you're watching this and you're in this situation, you feel bad or your friends make fun of you. It is completely normal. However, I want to make the point of the other side, right? They often say that if you stay living with your parents and you're lazy and you're kind of just leeching off of them, you're not working, you're just playing video games, you don't know where you're headed in life, and you're just kind of waiting for something to work out for you. I totally agree. Then you are a loser. However, if you are living with your parents while you work, while you grind, while you're still in school, while you're studying, while you're trying to pay back student debt, there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. As terrible as the economy is right now, you can still take advantage of living with your parents when you don't have to pay bills, when you don't have to pay rent. Not only will you save a ton of money, but then you're going to be able to pay back your student debt. You're going to be able to work a second job because you don't have to cook all your meals by yourself. You don't have to do all these other things because you have other people living in the house with you. Now think about moving out with a starting corporate salary. I don't know, depending on the state that you're at, it's probably from 40 to 60, 70,000. If it's 70,000, it's probably a really expensive state. You are going to have no money left over after you pay rents, car insurance, bills, internet, maybe parking space if you're in the city. You're going to have no money left over. How are you going to pay back your student debt? Right? Then you're going to stay stuck. You're literally going to be stuck in that rat race of just barely making enough to survive. The debt, the interest is racking up on, and you pay back your student loans in 10 years. Now I want to take it back to this video with Kevin Samuels. What he told this 25-year-old was, this 25-year-old, by the way, had a college degree. Now I think the problem with this guy was that he is a lazy piece of shit. Now the solution to that is not to move out and work at Burger King and McDonald's just to be able to pay rent. That is not the solution. The solution is for him, what Kevin, of course, I don't want to talk about the debt. I'm not trying to say this in a disrespectful way. But the solution for him would be just to open up his eyes, for someone to kick his ass and tell him, listen, you gotta go with that college degree, get a job. You can get a corporate level job. Most corporate level jobs are gonna start off at a way better salary than McDonald's, maybe $40,000 a year. While you're working that job, get a master's degree online and try to get as much tuition reimbursement as possible. While you're working on that master's degree, also get another job, because the master's degree is going to be online. Work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Do Uber, DoorDash, Uber Eats, whatever it is. Just try to make some extra income and try to accumulate as much assets so that in 2-3 years you can move out and have a stable financial foundation. Now when I look at my coworkers, what I often hear them complain about is they're barely making enough to survive. After they pay rent, they don't really have much left over in bills. They have a tiny little bit of money left over. That is not enough to invest. That is not enough to start a business. They don't have time to work a second job. So you literally live paycheck to paycheck. You're literally stuck. This is the definition of being stuck in the matrix. You are stuck in the matrix, paying, only being able to afford living. You are a genuine slave. Now, if you live with your parents, take this as an opportunity to set up your financial base. Don't be an asshole and just leech off your parents and take advantage of them. No, know that they're doing you a favor. Know that this is an opportunity. They're giving you an opportunity that not many other parents in America specifically are going to give their children. With the time that you're afforded now and the money that you're able to save, try to pay back as much of your debts as possible. Try to invest however much is left over from your income into furthering your education. It can be online courses. It can be going to masterminds. It can be going, doing an actual formal education, an MBA in computer science, in engineering, and analytics, data, something that's going to grow your salary so that you're ready to, in 2 to 3 years, you have a solid base, but now you're going at it with a higher salary versus, let me move out. I just graduated college, or I'm struggling. This is going to teach me so much about it. It's not going to teach you shit. You're going to work at McDonald's. You're going to be broke. You're going to be living paycheck to paycheck forever. Now, there are many disadvantages to living with your parents. I don't want to overlook that. You got to deal with maybe curfews. Like, I'm 23 years old. My parents got to tell me, hey, why are you out past 11 o'clock? What were you doing? Who were you with? Do I know this person? You got to deal with all of that bullshit. You don't have the house to yourself. You can't bring over your girl. If you're a girl, you can't bring over your boyfriend. Can't really bring over your friends. You can't do whatever you want. You don't really have your own space, but use that as motivation. That right there, no, hey, I gotta grind right now. I'm in a comfortable situation. I have to work and work and work and accumulate as much assets as possible. You need to work 2 jobs and try to think of and grow your education, build up your skills, accumulate skills, so that after 2 years you are good to move out and you're stable and you can actually afford to live on your own, and then continue to work harder and harder and harder. But that whole idea of living with your parents is embarrassing, or it's something that should be looked down upon, is a huge error in American society as a whole. They want people to consume as much as possible, but don't let that feed into your mind, right? Especially if you come from an ethnic background, realize that this is completely fine. And around the whole entire world, 95% of the world, most 22, 23-year-olds are still living with their parents as they get ready. They build up their financials and they pay off their debts. They finish their education. Is completely normal. as long as, like I said, you're working hard. Now, if you guys have any questions about what it's like to still live with your parents, leave them down below. If you're in the time frame to make that decision right now, should you move out? Should you stay? I definitely, from my experience, I recommend you stay. You're going to have to make some sacrifices, but that's life. If you're gonna get anything great, you have to sacrifice for it. I'd rather make these sacrifices than have everything I make go into rent and literally be a slave. So if you guys have any questions, drop them down below. At the end of the day, it's your decision to make if you want to, move somewhere far away just to see the world, and I completely get it. Everyone makes their own decisions. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna see you in the next video.